What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Kevin Svenson here, coming to you guys with another Bitcoin price update. It is January 13th of 2019. So we are sitting now at a very, very critical support level. If you watched my last video, I was explaining how I believe this support level here is more significant than the 3100 level. The 3100 level, again, I believe was a support, a bottom for Bitcoin, pretty much because of algorithms and bots. If you come in here and you look at the volume on all exchanges, there was not much volume down there. It is not a very convincing bottom to me. And I think that this run was triggered by algorithms and bots based on the 200 MA on the weekly. Again, this support line, in my opinion, is far more critical than 3100. If we do break below this, of course, we will most likely get a bounce off of 3100, but I do believe that ultimately we are going to be going lower in this market if we break below the support, and it's becoming more likely now that we do break below the support. If you hop into the shorter time frames here, it's really not much support coming in here. Most likely we will break down again and have a quick shift to the downside there. Retest 3100, and again, I do believe we're going to break lower than 3100. A lot of people, are wondering why I think that. Well, guys, it's just, again, I see, some analysts are talking about, right, the volume overall being higher here, like being comparable to this area, right? The volume right here is comparable to the volume that we saw in Bitcoin's run up, which is obviously true, right? And that's a good sign. It is a good sign that the volume is increasing this much and that we're finding some support here. But again, if you want, look in history, guys, look at history to see what's possible here. Bitcoin was hitting this level in the first sell-off after this bear market in 2013. In 2014, we were hitting this level over and over again, and then we broke down below the yearly low right here, right? We bounced around here, and then we had another shift to the downside. If you look at the volume levels, right, they were also comparable here, right? If you're looking at the volume levels, they increased, and they were comparable to the last, bullish area. Right? But then we dropped down again and we had another increase to this level and comparable to the last bullish area. And then we consolidated. I think we're going to see something similar here, guys. I think we're going to see, we had a nice increase in volume here comparable to the bull run in the amount of volume. And I think we're going to have another breakdown. And again, I am still looking for $2,500 as the low for Bitcoin, as the ultimate low, right? Whether we go a little bit under, a little bit over, maybe it's 2,200, maybe it's 2,800. I think 2,500 is really the best guess that I can make for Bitcoin's low. So again, I do think we're going to have another round of panic here. Market's going to be dropping a little bit lower, going down another level before finding some real support here, and ultimately trading sideways and consolidating for most of this year. Maybe we go a little lower at some points, right? Maybe we have a little bit more of a dip at certain areas. But ultimately, I think it's going to look something like this, where, again, spring of 2020 is when I'm expecting us to break out, start pushing up against resistance, and getting that progressive move to the upside as the big players start to move this thing again. A lot of people are asking, Kev, why don't you think we're going lower? Why don't you think we're going to go to like 1,000 or 1,800 or something like that? Well, guys, it is a mental game. It is a mental game, right? If the price dropped down to the thousands, to the 1,000 level or something like that, a lot of people would be buying it, right? And I don't think the market makers and the big players want that to happen. I don't think they're interested in getting people excited about the price of Bitcoin right now. I think they need to get people to panic a little bit more, get bored, a little bit depressed, give up on Bitcoin, flush people out of the market, consolidate for a while, and then push up, right? And all the people that got disinterested and bored in Bitcoin will then, of course, be the first wave of people to push the price up when it starts moving again, right? Those of us who will stick around here and who believe in this technology and who are willing to be patient and wait long periods of time, we will be rewarded nicely, right? But I think the consolidation is going to look something like this. Some analysts think that we've already hit bottom and that we're just going to trade sideways from here all year long, just straight up sideways. I don't think so, guys. It doesn't make sense to me that we would just be going completely sideways from here. I think we have another round of panic, another dip here to go in this market. You know, whether we bounce right off 2,500, maybe go a little bit lower, maybe we don't actually reach 2,500, hit 2,800 something. I think we are going to break below 3,100, 3,000 to some degree. And again, $2,500 is still my price target and my estimated low for Bitcoin. But I think it's going to look something more like this, guys, for the long term here. And, you know, this would be comparable to this, right? We broke, this was a break below the yearly low right here. We consolidated here, dumped lower. 2 dumps to the downside after the break below the yearly low. Broke below the yearly low, consolidated here for a little bit, another dump lower. But again, you know, you can't compare history and say, oh, that's going to happen, right? Right? You can't just say because it happened before, it's going to happen again. But, you know, right, Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin fundamentally hasn't really changed as a technology. It is what it is. So I believe that, you know, it's going to be traded in a similar fashion, right? This is something I've been preaching since the beginning of 2018, right? All this stuff is what I've been preaching since the beginning of 2018. So I think we have a little bit more lower prices, some more lower prices to go in this market. Again, this current support level right here, very critical. You know, we could of course bounce, you know, have some play in this area again. But it's pretty clear that we are right now, it's just sideways consolidation, right? There's no real, you know, right here we're at a falling wedge. We popped out the falling wedge. And now there's no real formation forming here. It's more just sideways consolidation. Some people are arguing that this is the inverse head and shoulders now. Oh, like now we're getting it. I mean, maybe, you know, maybe. I'm not too sure about that, right? The volume's not really that great. We would need a lot more support at this level. But we'll see, guys. It is always possible. It is always possible. Again, the whales can make this market do anything they want right now because the interest is so low. It's really low interest, low involvement from the average person. So the whales can snap the price around with ease right now, right? There's not much to fight against in either direction. The market's not really being pushed in a certain way right now. Right now, it is really all up to the big players. If they want to dump it a little more, if they want to keep it here, it really honestly is up to the big holders right now, how low they want this thing to go, so on and so forth, right? The ownership of Bitcoin is very centralized. We have to keep that in mind, guys. But I do think we have some lower prices coming in this market in a consolidation near the 2,500 zone. But that is just my opinion, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I do go live. Also, I do have a Patreon. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, you can email me. My email is on the Patreon page. If you go to Wave 3, my email's down there. Send me an email. We could talk about, you know, if the Patreon is a good fit for you. You guys get daily updates. You guys get alerted on when I'm accumulating in the market. And a lot of people find it very helpful. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream, whatever I decide to do. I'll see you soon.